This is 2ST, the Travelling Wilburys, end of the line. That's kind of appropriate. It's 9:10 at 2ST. It's time to talk about the battle for Berrima. We've got Leo Sayer in the studio and Michael Verbergt, who is responsible for putting this whole thing together. We are talking, well, not responsible, I do apologise. Not responsible, part of the team. But you keep this Facebook page moving, and I think it's very, very important. Locals are concerned about coal mining in the Southern Highlands, and so you guys, you're trying to get more attention and get people, interested in finding out the details about why you're fighting so hard.
Yes, we're trying to get people, this is Leo, we're trying to get people aware of the fact that there is going to be a huge coal mine on the side of Berrima, and we think it's not only visually an anathema to this area, but the damage that it could cause in damage to the water table, in the pollution of the coal dust, etc. It was really going to change this area quite greatly, and it's something, I think that this area is a bit of a golden area. For me, I moved in just before Christmas, and I fell in love with the area. It's rich in farming, it's rich in soil, it's rich in peace and quiet, and it's going to change this area, and we're very, very worried and concerned about that. We've had presentations from Hume Coal, the company that represents the Korean steelworks, POSCO, who have told us that don't worry, this is going to be absolutely fine, but none of the information that they seem to give us seems to add up. So there is a growing objection to this whole idea of the mine coming in.
And you guys have been trying to raise some money to do your own research into things too, haven't you?
We've had a number of fundraising events, because to fight something like this is extremely complicated and expensive. It requires lots of money, and the reports take a great deal of time to compile. They're extremely complex documents, and it takes a lot of money. So we've been very fortunate enough to have a lot of high-profile people in the village, or a lot. There's two. There's Jimmy Barnes and Leo Sayer, and they've backed the cause right to the hilt, and they've been a great support.
Jimmy's already done a little show, and that got us some nice money.
So you're doing your fundraiser, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very important that the survey that we will do is independent, because we've got plenty of information from the coal company, who put sort of wind meters up at 9:15 in the morning, which doesn't really tell you very much about the real way that the wind blows here. So that's kind of measuring to give you an idea of what the pollution could be from the coal dust. Yeah. But it's something that we've got to do our own work on, but so that we can actually make a worthwhile contribution to the debate. It's very important.
Well, indeed. See, this is the thing. You can't just sit there and say, no, we don't want it. No. You've got to sit there and say, why?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And you've got to fight it with facts. You've got to fight it with facts. It's not good enough just to say, well, we don't want it in our backyard. You've got to come up with solid facts and evidence to fight it, and that has to be presented around about the same time that Hume Coal have to do their environmental impact study, which is mid to late next year, we believe. They'll be releasing that to the government departments for scrutiny, and then the general community, I believe, gets between 4 to 6 weeks to publicly comment on a document that could be 2 feet thick. So we have a lot of work to do in deciphering all of that. Exactly, and that takes money, it takes time, it takes experts, and it's a long battle. Hence, battle for Berrima.
And of course, you look at the adverts that the coal companies are putting up. Coal is good for humanity, as our ex-Prime Minister said. There is a very strong lobby in this country that it's almost a desperate lobby to keep coal and coal seam gas mining as well in the picture as viable ways to bring energy to this country. But I think that most people are growing up to the fact that there are alternative sources of energy. There's lots of wind, there's lots of sun, and there's lots of sea out there that can fuel us as well as coal can. Well, and also the other factor is that coal is actually bad business. Not only is it dirty business, but it seems that a lot of the coal companies and everything are losing money. There's a lot of places in the world where coal, they just say no more. Sorry, no more. So we would like to think that Australia, I think as all Australians would like to think we can do something new and something very good for our environment.
Yes, indeed. I mean, there is also the thing about that about jobs, but see, I worry about things like that because my husband was a coal miner, and it's a difficult job, and their rates of pay go down and down, which is this is another story. So I'm sorry, but I would rather see we invest our time and money into new sources of finding.
Well, it's also been said, I think, in the area that this will invoke a vast amount of jobs. I mean, lots of people will get work out of this, but that's not completely correct.
It's 300 odd jobs. Hume Coal are saying that they will bring to the area. We're a bit more reflective on that figure. We think it probably could be around the 200 mark, 150 to 200, because coal mining has become so technical and automated now. It's not teams of coal miners with pickaxes going down, chunking off bits of coal at a coal face. It's continuous coal miners. These machines that just rip the coal out of the seam, they load it automatically on conveyor belts and take it out of the coal mine. It's all automated.
It's an industry with a lot of expertise as well.
Exactly.
So
it's very high tech.
Something that a farm labourer can kind of say, right, I'm going to be a miner.
No.
Now the mine's coming in.
In the agribusiness around the area, we've got nearly 3,000 jobs.
Well, this is the thing.
The long-term sustainable jobs that will be directly at risk for 200 or 300 jobs. I mean, it just doesn't make sense economically. It really doesn't.
All right, so if you want people to join the fight, you've got your fundraiser on for tomorrow night, is it? But that you've sold out.
We've sold out for that.
You're performing at that, Leo. Fantastic.
I am, yes.
That's
I'm
going to be
doing a show there. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Jenkins. So it's great that you can do this. I mean, you're still touring. You're doing all these
there may be more events that we can do. I mean, I'm already talking to Jimmy Barnes. We've been talking about doing a bigger one later.
We've got to make some noise. I mean,
we've got to make some noise.
I wasn't trying to make a pun then. It is. It does have to. People have to know about it and why. Because we've got to keep the Southern Highlands beautiful and for the future. I'm a big one for agriculture. But anyway,
for growth in the area, this is very important that we look at what is our stable diet, what we do live on in this country, in this area. We do live on farming and we do live on the wealth of the soil, and anything to damage that is a bit of a shame.
So what can we do? So for people to find out more, join the Battle for Berrima Facebook page?
Yes, please.
Battle with one word, 4 with a number, and Berrima.
Yep.
All right, you'll find that on Facebook, and you've got a website as well.
Yes, Battle for Berrima website. You can get all the information, join the mailing list, sign up, and keep up to date. And that's what we really need to do with people is to inform, because we are still bumping into people out there in the community that know very little about this and that are quite shocked when you mention it.
And if you don't know anything about it, talk to us, because we are very informed.
Yes.
We've done a lot of work on this, and we do know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and can I just put my cranky pants on for a moment?
Yes.
I don't like it though when people are taking it out on the workers at Hume Coal. I really don't like that. That's just wrong.
That's not what we're doing.
That's not. It's not about that. So just because somebody works for Hume Coal, that doesn't mean you can slap them around.
No,
they're just earning a living and paying their rent.
Yep.
So it's more. This is about a community trying to keep a community and get it to grow without destroying.
Exactly, because with so many of these coal mines, when they move into communities and areas, they fracture them. They do. They divide communities, and we don't need that. There are so many other things in life that we could be worried about. That and putting our energies into, as opposed to wasting time, fighting coal mines. I mean,
and
it's crazy.
Civil war at the same time.
Exactly.
We don't need that.
Yes.
Leo Sayer, Michael Verberg, thank you so much for coming in. We've been talking about the Battle for Berrima today. So you can join in the Battle for Berrima. There's the Facebook page and the website, battleforberrima.com.au. You guys are great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is 2ST.
She packed